Hey everyone, as usual, I'm just saying thanks for checking my video. If you want the full recipe, there's a link down below, or you can click this donut right here. So as you can tell, this donut is made with mochi, which is actually rice flour. One good thing is these donuts are very easy to make compared to regular donuts. They don't need to rise, they don't need to proof or anything like that. You just make the dough and you fry it. And the great thing is, because it's no gluten or anything in that, you don't have to worry about overworking them. If you want to reshape them, you want to make them bigger or smaller, it's easy. Now speaking of flour, it's very important to know which one is the right one. There are two flours that you can find that are made of rice. Usually the Japanese one would come in a white box, simply that. And there's the other one that kind of looks like this. And my advice, don't use that one. I made 2 batches of them, and what initially looked kind of good, it's okay, it's kind of shaped like a donut. When you bite into it, it is not good, it is dry. So what I recommend is to get the glutinous one, or the sticky rice one, which is, like I said again, there's actually no gluten, it kind of tastes glutinous. The difference is rice. The normal rice flour is what you find in long grain rice, or kind of basmati or jasmine. They don't stick together really. I mean, if you squeeze them, they stick together, but when you cook them on a rice cooker or a pot, they just are individual grains, and you don't want that, because what happens is you just end up with a very dry donut. Glutinous, the sticky rice, is sticky rice. If you've been to dim sum, you might have seen it in certain bowls where they cut the rice into the bowl and they flip it down and it's perfectly shaped, and you can kind of just pick up the whole thing with a pair of chopsticks. Stickers is also used in a lot of Chinese food. One thing you might recognize is something called zhong, which is just like a sticky rice wrapped in this weird kind of triangle shaped leaf thing. So the thing about the flour is that, as you can see in the video, I tell you not to use your hands, and the reason why is I use my hands. What happens is when you try to scoop the dough out of the bowl with your hand, it will stick to your hands like crazy, and I was spending 5 minutes trying to clean up one hand, and then I get a glob on one hand. Okay, so I'll slowly push it off. Nope. What happens is it just constantly keeps sticking on each hand, and you just get this insane mess. So use whatever tool you want. Just whatever you do, make sure you flour it before you scoop it out, because you don't want it to stick to anything. One last tip is that when you're deep frying, don't worry if the heat is too low. You can always start low and go up. What I notice is the best way to fry the donuts is by, when you put them in the oil, you kind of wait them to float, and then you want to wait them to slightly crack, and the inside will come out. When that happens, you want to flip them over, and then that way the heat will actually go in the donut, and the other side will also crack. So you can see here the donut is kind of cracked open, and what happens is I flipped it over, cooked the inside here until it's golden brown, and then you get a really nice donut. I'm just going to talk about the toppings before I'm going to eat them. The matcha, I was going to make a glaze, but when I add liquid to it, it just kind of turned this really ugly pale green, and there wasn't really that much green to be on the donut, so I opted for going for the dusting. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else but for me to eat the donuts. First, I'm just going for the glaze. It's really good. It's very crispy on the outside, and it's really nice and chewy on the inside. It's literally eating fried mochi. It's not like eating a dish that you get from dim sum. It's called jindoi. It's just pretty much like a deep fried ball filled with sesame and it's hollow inside. Matcha. And this one's my favorite so far. The matcha flavor is very nice and subtle, not to a point where it's bitter. Save this one for last. Chocolate. I don't know what to say. It's a really good chocolate donut. That's pretty much it for the video. I'll be making more gluten-free food with the same flour in the future videos, so if you want to check those out, you can subscribe by clicking here. And if you want this channel to grow, you know what to do. A thumbs up, like, share, all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks again. Cheers.